tuned into this morning show, and Rhonda's here to let you know it matters. Morning matters. You'll face today with confidence. She'll never leave you in suspense. The answer's coming. Morning matters. Now come on, Rhonda, we're all tuned in to hear you reason with or questioning what's the matter. Morning matters.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Matters. This morning we are back home. It's been a while since we've been here, but guess what? We're here. It's good to be back. And with me this morning I have Drew. Drew, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Rhonda. It's very good to be here again, back in lovely Belize. It's a little noisy here on this street corner, though.
That's okay. You know, you can't win them all.
I can hardly hear you.
That's good. You've acted like you cannot
It is
hear
good to
me
be
many
back,
times.
you know? It is good to be back.
All right. Before we get started into our regular matters, what we're going to say is we have to thank the people that helped us to get to Antigua to cover the sailing clinic that we went to cover. We need to thank the Belize Tourism Board, Development Finance Corporation, and Atlantic Insurance. Without these companies, we would not have been able to go.
There you go. In case you didn't know, we are back in Belize City at the world-renowned Flag Monument Roundabout. Did I say that correctly?
Pretty much.
And I say, and people, if you're thinking about coming to Belize, I think this tourist season is going to be the time to come. There's a new airline, two new airlines coming into town, and I think the rates are going to be a lot more favorable. Southwest has some very good rates. Copa will be coming in, flying out of Panama.
I think it'll be an interesting time. And we need to say good morning to the people in Trinidad and Tobago.
It'd be an easy trip for Trinidad.
That's right. Good morning to Lily. Lily sent us some messages and some texts to say hello, and she watches all the time.
Hello, Lily.
To the people in Grenada, thank you. To the people in St. Vincent and Grenadines, good morning to my parents, Mr. and Mrs. George Crichton, and everybody that makes Morning Matters a part of your morning. Thank you. Oh, you know, there's a little boy that came into Can Cafe the other day. I can't remember your name, but you, little boy, you know exactly who you are. You are in Belize City. You came in there with your mom. I'm saying good morning to you. All right? And if your mom remembers and if she's watching it, she can text me your name.
Is he a fan, or you used to babysit for him?
He's about 10. I think his mom watches it. So when he walked in, he's like, hey, Morning Matters. All right, speaking of Can Cafe, it's the place to eat, the upstairs downtown plaza. They're open from 7 till 7, Mondays through Saturdays. Anyway, one more housekeeping needs to be taken care of, and it's the people at Creative Marketing. When you're looking for hats, shirts, t-shirts, promotional items, anything for promotional item, it has to be Creative Marketing. You can give them a call at 207-2023.
They have a very creative staff. Any help you need with anything, they are right there to help with design and putting a little program for you.
Any matters of your own, Drew?
Nope, I managed to stay matterless.
Sure, how the girls treating you?
Not at all.
Must be a shocker for you.
It is. It's very unusual.
We need to say good morning to, what's his name in California? Is it California? Peter? No, the guy that watches on YouTube.
Oh, Benjamin.
Good morning to you, Benjamin. So, let's jump into the first matter.
Let's do it.
This one says, so I got a boyfriend and we just met. I would like some advice on how to have a successful relationship. This is coming from Karaku. I hope I have them correctly.
I have to say, I think you're jumping into something a little too early if you just met this boy. I mean, it's nice that you want to make sure everything's right. But in the beginning, I think all you can do is be your truest self, be honest, be open, and but I wouldn't focus so much on the relationship right now as it is so much getting to know each other.
Well,
and meeting as friends and family, and then decide, is this somebody I want a relationship with?
Well, there's some people that do that, and then there's some people that say, okay, based on the little that I've seen.
We went out on one date, now we're in a relationship, and we have to define all these things now.
Well, no, I think that...
No weekends out alone.
No, I think...
You call me every morning.
No, I think that some people handle relationship a little bit different, right? So when she finds, and it's a girl that's in this, she finds a boy that she's interested in, she puts up all the parameters. She sets out the parameters that if you can meet these stipulations, then we will have a relationship. And I think that that is what she's looking for, more than just playing it by ear. Like, she wants to set a plan in place so that if he meets these requirements, then we will move into a relationship.
She doesn't want to screw it up.
Yes, she doesn't want to mess it up. As opposed to just being casual about it, because sometimes when you are casual, you find a relationship, and because you did not take the time to put the parameters in place, you lose it because nothing was defined. So I think that this is her intention, to define it, everything, and see if he can fit into these boxes. And if he can fit into these
Just
boxes,
in her own mind, or something they need to discuss? And
well, first I think it needs to be in her own mind.
oh, I
And
think so too.
so you need to set out what it is that you are looking for, and then you make your list of the things that your requirements. And once you have your requirements, you then go to him and see if he can fill them one day at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 month at a time, 1 year at a time. But you need to work on you first and what your ideas are. So the first thing that you would do is be honest and open with this boy. You understand? Don't try and change to adjust to fit him. Be yourself.
True.
Far too often, people try and adjust to fit in too early. They compromise their core values because he look good, he act good, he talk good, he smell good. In 1 month, he show you who he really is, and you waste your time.
If you're lucky, it's 1 month.
Ain't that the truth? Sometimes it happen after a year. Someone have that stamina for last and leave while with that foolishness. They could wear their mask.
But remember to pay attention to your gut. If something doesn't seem right during this interview process with the other person, pay attention to it. Don't just ignore it, because your gut's telling you. There are things that you've sensed from all your experience that you may not realize you even know, but your gut knows.
I like that. That is the truth. You just feel it in your bones. You can't see it. There's no reason for you to feel anything else, but you feel it.
But if you have to sit down and pay attention to it and figure it out, because there's a reason your gut's saying that. You have a lot of experiences that are built up subconsciously.
I couldn't agree with you more. That's like one of the most sanest things you've said for a long time.
Hey,
Sometimes
I've been
it happens.
35. You haven't been 55.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna go over this matter that was sent in through Facebook. I will not read it, but I will explain the portions of it. And the only reason I'm gonna go over this matter is because I believe that there are a lot of people out there that are either shy, or they feel the wrong sense of embarrassment, or they don't know their rights, so they end up losing. Right? There was the woman sent in the message saying she's been in this relationship for close to 15 years. She's close to 15 years in a relationship, 3 children, and her husband started cheating. He went to work in another area, and he found a girl there. She did not realize that he had left the home. She thought he went to work.
Just went to a different job.
Like, he's at work, so let's say he's working in Cayo, he's there 5 days a week, he's at work. But she realized that he's cheating, so she goes there to see him. When she goes to confront him, he says, with his new girlfriend, that, like, I don't tell you long time that we done. So now her concern is, yes, her children are crying for their father, but she's left with bills. And she's nervous now that she has to leave the house that she's living in because it's rented property. And she's like kind of confused on how to deal with it. Should I wait for my husband? Should I not wait for my husband? What the deal is. I don't know about waiting, but I know about basic common sense. You have rights. You are not some random girlfriend that you just picked up last week. You shared a life with this man. You built a life with him, and you have 3 children with him. So he has to live up to certain responsibilities. He has to continue to pay the rent, or his portion of the rent. He has to continue to maintain these children. He has to continue to contribute to the home, especially if he was the major provider in this home.
Well, if he has any moral fiber at all, he will. And if not, then make the courts enforce it.
Well, according to her, she has been texting and calling him, and the girl has been answering the phone. So you need to send him one last text. Well, Drew, it's time to jump into another matter.
One more matter.
Before the segment closes.
The crowd rushes in.
You know, it's just that kind of day. 1 minute it's a little bit quieter than other minutes, but I guess it's just how life is. All right, let's see what we have here. Let's see there.
It's getting windy.
It is getting windy, and you notice the noise that these poles make, or is somebody shaking it? Is somebody shaking it?
No.
Well.
Boy, somebody smeared my glasses there.
Good morning. I've been with a man for 3 years. I love him, but he's married. What am I to do?
Why have you been with a married man for 3 years?
You know, I say, and I
By
always...
this time, the divorce process should be going on.
But not only that, when you got into it, you knew what you were getting into.
No
now
surprises there.
Yeah, you can't expect him to change now, and you can't expect things to change. You have to get out of it. It's that simple. The reason you feel that you are in love with him now is because you have invested so much time and energy and effort. If you didn't, you'd be better off.
The worst thing you can do is go another 3 years and find yourself in the exact same situation.
Okay.
That's why I always say, if you find yourself in that situation, you know, for whatever reason, you should, if he says he's going to leave his wife, say fine, come look for me when the divorce is done.
How you prevent yourself from getting in that situation is when a man comes to you and he says he's married, the conversation ends. That's it. The conversation ends when
That
you know.
will avoid a lot of problems.
Yes, you don't want to hear they're not having a good time. Oh gosh, he only there for the children. He leaving tomorrow. No.
Yeah.
When he says he's married, you said goodbye.
How
you say
bad
goodbye.
his wife treat him.
Yes, and how he only love you.
Blah.
Exactly.
Play me a song.
My husband just started to work far and he got phone and it's turned off. When he called me and every time his friend... What? My husband just got started to work far and he got phone and turn it off and turn it on when he called me. And everything his friend said to do, he do.
Everything his friend said what?
To do, he do.
How does she know?
Then she continues by saying his friend that he own boss and he doesn't like me sometimes. I don't know what to do. And I know he cheats on me because he works at the reef where there are lots of white women.
Look out for those white women.
Lady.
If you know all this stuff, what more do you need to know? Go. You're not going to stop it.
But
Go
no.
find somebody that you don't have to worry about that stuff.
But you know, generally, when I listen to a text, I can tell to some degree who's being fair. She's not being fair to herself. She don't have no reason to believe this man to cheat other than he's in a position where he can cheat because he's exposed to other women. She never say he is cheating. She says, I believe he's cheating.
No, she said, I know he's cheating.
She says, I know he's cheating.
If she knows that, it talk done.
But she don't know that. Before you destroy your relationship.
That's what it just said.
That's what she says, but that's not the fact. Because the reason she give for knowing is not reason enough.
How can you read all that in a text?
That's like...
Yeah, but it's a text. It's not...
That's like...
She's not going to write a whole story.
Okay, Drew, then I come to you and I say, well, I know Drew is lying because he's talking. Chances are you are lying because you are talking. But good chances are you are telling the truth because you are speaking. That's just how it is. So if you have a husband that's working in a place where he's exposed to multiple women, red, yellow, black, white, whatever the case is, that don't mean he's cheating. You have to make sure that your insecurity is not getting the best of you and you leave your relationship because you are the one that is insecure. If the man turn off his phone, if he works out at the reef, maybe he puts it in a plastic bag when he goes diving so he doesn't have any need to have it on.
Well, in the reef, there's some places out there you don't get reception.
Thank you.
He may not be off, he may not get reception.
Thank you. So as opposed to get all bent out of shape, sit down and reason with the man. You have many reasons, you have said a lot of things about him, but I don't think any of them have any base, any facts. He does everything his friend says. He probably goes out with his friends and have a good time, understandably so. I think half the problem is that you might be at home with very little on your mind other than your husband.
Remember, you're his wife, not his mother. He's
Exactly.
a big boy. He should be able to do what he wants responsibly.
If you feel...
Just because you don't approve of it doesn't mean it's so bad.
And if you have proof that he's doing something outside of what is acceptable, then you discuss it, but don't accuse him for no reason.
What? I didn't read it as an accusation. I read it as she knew. It was fact. Well, if you know that, then make plans for yourself. You're not going to stop him. Let him be who he is.
Good morning. I am
Not his
19
mother.
years old and my girlfriend is 17. She's still in school. She expects me to help her pay her school fees. Should I?
So how long have they been seeing each other?
Well, if she's 17, I would have said maximum of 2 years talking. At least they started talking maybe a year. I don't know. She's just 17.
That's her parents' responsibility. It's not his. Don't do it.
Well, I wouldn't go so far as to say don't do it. I would say
would.
Why?
It's not his responsibility. They're not married. It's not his daughter. It's his girlfriend. She needs to build her life. It's not up to him to build her life.
While I understand you,
He could probably use some schooling himself.
I completely understand you. But do it if you want. Don't do it because you feel compelled to do it. It is not your responsibility. I agree with you with that. But not because sometimes things are not our responsibility means we don't do them if we can help. I always believe that if you can help anybody, you help them. But don't help them with the expectation of getting back something out
If
of
that
it.
is the condition of being her boyfriend, then forget it.
Yes, if that is the
If you
condition.
want to give out of the kindness of your heart, and you know she's struggling and you can afford it and you want to, by all means go ahead.
Thank you.
But if she's expecting it because you are her boyfriend and she's demanding it, move on.
No,
Or
there
set
you
it
go.
straight.
There you go.
Set it straight. This is your life. If I want to help, I'll help, but that's not my obligation.
Exactly.
We're not married. You're not my child. That's up to your parents to help you with.
Hey, geez, seemed like somebody touched a bone there for you. Get a little feisty. No, you're right.
Little of you rubbed off.
A little of me rubbed off, a little bit more of me should have rubbed off. But no, I agree, it's not his responsibility. But if he wants to, fine. If that is a stipulation in which she will only date you if you pay her like her school fees, then no,
Now,
don't
what's the
date her.
difference between her and a prostitute then?
He didn't say that though. He says, this one says, I'm appalled the video I saw on Facebook was taken right here in Belize about a male and a female who is mentally ill. They had them doing, and she goes on about what they've been doing, and it's disturbing. Something needs to be done about those people that made that video, don't you think?
What video is that?
I don't know the video that she's talking about, but
Sorry, we don't know the video.
But what I can say is that a lot of people use Facebook for the wrong reason. If you are going to put something out there that will hurt somebody else, don't put it. It's not funny.
Don't put your business out there.
Well, no, she says they're mentally ill. You know, sometimes you pass, you see mad people doing mad things. It speaks really, really little of you or low of you when you go out and you put those things on Facebook. It's not a joke. We have no reason to laugh at anybody. If you want to laugh at somebody, I'm sure you can find something about you that you can laugh at. But don't go out there and laugh at nobody and make fool of nobody and make fun of nobody, because really and truly, you not talk about them. It speaks about you, how small-minded you are.
That's true. True that. I'm ready for a break.
You ready for a break?
Yeah.
I think I'll give you a break after this one more message. Is that okay with
It's a
you?
hot seat.
Hey, good morning. Do you think it is fair to terminate someone from her job just because she doesn't want to sleep with him? Without giving her a valid reason, just to say that I was incompetent and don't have a degree to have the post. Is that fair for someone to discriminate against you like that? What do you recommend I
It
do?
must have been good enough for a while.
Well, I have been on both sides of the fence. I have been the employer and I have been the employee. And when you're on...
Which do you prefer?
I prefer to be the employer. But when you are on the side as the employee, sometimes, we see things differently. They fire me because of this, or they fire me because of
Right.
that. And sometimes, and the same way, when you are the employer, you think, gosh, sometimes it's difficult for you to fire somebody. You don't know how to fire somebody. But because you have grown close to them, then it makes life even more
now
complicated.
there's a relationship, they're friends, you bonded.
So even though you are not...
But business-wise, it doesn't make sense to keep them.
Thank you. So if you feel that you have been unjustly terminated, you can go to the labor board. But I would have to say to you, no, I can say to you that maybe when he first hired you, it was a favor to you. So don't forget that part. Because sometimes we give people the opportunity to see if they're good enough. Even though you might not have a degree in journalism, I will give you a chance to be a journalist. And maybe you can learn just enough to make you good enough. But if after a certain amount of time you're not good enough, then I have to let you go because
True.
you're not good for my business. So maybe he took a chance on you and you never took enough chance and never on yourself, and you never developed it, and you got comfortable because you got into a relationship with him to some degree that guess what? This man, I give him this, so he want to give me this and he have to give me this. No.
While I believe employers should be given the option of running their business and hiring and firing their employees the way they see fit, not everybody does that. There's some people get in a position and they take advantage of it. They take advantage of people. They take advantage of, you have to have this job, so you know you need to do favors for me in order to keep this job. That's wrong. Whether there's laws about that in Belize, I don't know. If there's sexual harassment laws in Belize,
There are.
I
There
don't
is.
know.
You're not
But
allowed
that's wrong. But as far as hiring and firing, I'm all for employers doing it as they see fit for their business.
And if you
You
feel
know, if you come to work, if you do nothing other than you stink, you don't bathe and you stink, and the employer doesn't want to deal with it, that's his option.
that's his option, but you have to protect yourself by doing what is required of you in a responsible way. So if the boss when you're sweet today, the boss wants to play with you and you say yes, now you know you're putting yourself in a bad place, because when the boss is tired of playing with you, he will fire you.
Exactly.
On that note, we're going to take a break and be back.
The Ramada Belize City Princess is the entertainment capital of Belize. We are the safest, most comfortable place to entertain the entire family. If you choose to try your luck at a little gaming, the casino is there for you. We also have entertainment for the children in our game room. Our theater is always showing the latest in movies. Come try our lunch buffet, where every day offers a different special. There is a pool along with a fitness center available for your convenience. When you think of class and comfort, think of the Ramada Belize City Princess. Come, let us treat you like royalty.
La le de veillot, le bouton la voiture ratée. Aïe, liron la le de veillot, le bouton la voiture ratée. Aïe, liron la le de veillot, yo de nous et à mon gali dans le pays papa. Oh, liron la ya dina o bao.
You're tuned into this morning show, and Rhonda's here to let you know it matters. Morning matters. You'll face today with confidence. She'll never leave you in suspense. The answer's coming. Morning matters. Now come on, Rhonda, we're all tuned in to hear you reason with or questioning what's the matter. Morning matters.
Welcome back to Morning Matters right here in Belize City at the Flag Monument. Drew, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I have one more comment about that last topic we were speaking of with
Go on.
employers, employees. And I put this out there. This is just my philosophy, things I've read. It seems a lot of people get a job and they think the employer is obligated to them. As long as they put time in, they should be paid, and whether they add value to the business or not doesn't matter. They put the time in, they should be paid. And management has a certain responsibility to make sure that value comes out of them. But at the same time, I taught my kids as they were growing up, as you get jobs, try to make yourself indispensable to your boss. You be the first one there in the morning. So if he gets there and you two are the only ones there and he needs something done, he has somebody to count on. Be the last one to leave in case something happens at the last minute. Your boss has nobody to turn to but you. You'll move up quicker. If they got to weed out some of the employees because of budget cuts, you're going to be one of the last ones because they need you. Make yourself indispensable. Always be there.
I like that. I absolutely like that. And that will make everybody happy. Everybody will benefit. You will benefit and your employer will benefit. It's time for another matter, Mr. Drew.
Let's hear it.
You ready? I have a boyfriend and we're together for 3 years. And we have a 1-month baby. His sister wants to tell me what to do with my baby. And we have to take him to my boyfriend. And when to take him to my boyfriend. Do you think she knows more what to do?
What do you mean?
I have a boyfriend and we're together for 3 years.
Are they not together that she has to say when to take it to the boyfriend?
His sister wants to tell me what to do with my baby and where to take him. My boyfriend thinks... Oh, let me read it over.
All right.
She sent it with no... Okay, it says, I have a boyfriend. We're together for 3 years. Now we have a 1-month baby. His sister wants to tell me what to do with my baby and where to take him. My boyfriend thinks she knows more. What should I do?
Yeah. So the boyfriend doesn't know how to raise a child, but he thinks his sister knows better how to raise a child. I would ask, has this sister had children? I mean, that there's something to be said for having gone through it before. You guys are probably young, you haven't been around babies, and if the sister has had children, I think you should take it with some advice, but the ultimate decision is yours. If you don't want to take them, don't take them.
Well, I have had the great privilege of having one child, right?
I can see where that could get irritating with somebody telling you how to raise your child, and sometimes it can be overbearing, and sometimes you have to put them in their place. Say, I appreciate it, but this is my child, and I'm going to raise it the way I see fit. I'll take into consideration what you say, but this is what I'm doing.
Well,
maybe that'll put them at a standstill for the next time.
I think your in-laws really just want what is best for this child. And I say that because when my child was born, my mother would come there with all sorts of things to wrap the baby belly and give him this and give her this and give her that. And I would say, look, lady, I'm really not interested in all of this, you know. I mean, and she'd be like, oh, Rhonda, you have to listen. And then my sister-in-law at the time, she would come over and, but obviously, they too decide what will happen to this baby. But you know why I let them? Because I figure none of them wants the baby to die. They have both had children before me. They exactly know how to take care of children. And guess what? They're just there to help me. So relax yourself. Let the sister-in-law be a good sister-in-law to you and help you out. Once you're not hurting the child, and don't worry about your ego right now. You don't know. That's it.
That's okay not to know. The babies don't come with a manual.
So relax
but
yourself.
Google is a wonderful thing.
Google my foot. Google now and tell her to tie the baby belly button so you know have a big belly button.
Tie it. The doctor's supposed to tie it.
Well, you know, the old lady then tie it with at least something pushed in there and a whole lot of stuff, and then I'll tell her to drink this and drink that. So listen to your sister-in-law, man. I'm sure your intention's great. And it is still your baby. Share the love a little. I know how disgusting it could be sometimes, though, or irritating, because there are many times when those two used to come to the house, I used to say, oh God, what are we going to do now? Because I know they bring a bag of something for the baby.
Well, that's good, though.
I have one boy, one baby ma, but when I have money, I to see my baby. And when I want, but when I don't have money, she don't want me to see the baby.
What, you have to pay to see your baby? Is that it? If he doesn't have money for the mama's not going to let him see the baby?
Yeah.
Is that... I don't know how she knows if you have money or not.
Probably not payday. Maybe that want payday visit. Well, lady, or well, gentlemen, if that is the case, then you need to sit down with this baby ma and explain to her, look, these are the times I want to see this baby with money in my pocket or without money in my pocket. This baby is my baby and I'm paying. This is not an entrance fee.
Right. It's not fair to the baby to have everything contingent on money.
Exactly. I live with my girlfriend for 1.5 years. When I have money, she tells me she loves me. What? This is a different one completely. And when I broke, I have to ask if she loves me.
I think that says it all.
Well, while you might think that says it all, I think that it could be he didn't read it wrong.
I think you go for like 3 months of being broke. Whether you're broke or not, just make her think you're broke.
No, I really...
And see how long the relationship lasts. Just a test.
I don't think that.
No, babe, we can't go to the club tonight. Let's just sit at home, watch a movie, and drink a Coke because I don't have any money, and just see how long it lasts.
I think he'll last. I think sometimes it might be just how he perceives things. He might only remember how nice she is when he bring money.
It could be.
You understand?
But it must be quite obvious to make a point about it. It must be obvious to him.
Well, and if you discuss it with him, babe, only to hear these words when I bring money. This one says, if my man is having an affair with a married woman and I'm not working and I have 6 children, should I stay?
That's something you got to decide for yourself. I know there's some people that stay in a situation just for economic reasons, and if everybody can be hospitable and get along and just be together for economic reasons, I guess you do that. But if there's something more inside of you that you want and you deserve more, you have to cut it off and say bye.
I don't mean to sound crazy or harsh, but you're asking me, the question that you just asked me is if you should sell your dignity for the cost that this man is paying. It is you're selling your
dignity.
Drew, let me tell you something. If a man has 6 children with you, it is his responsibility to take care of those children.
And he is.
But that does not mean that you have to sit in the relationship and suffer. So
well, maybe he's told her, hey, I got a girlfriend, I want to do right by the family, but I'm not going to be your man anymore.
Good. Then
that has nothing to do with her dignity.
But she's selling it because she prefers to stay at home with no job and have this man that is cheating on her minor. You need to get up off of yourself, find yourself a job, contribute to your life and your children's life, and let the man do what he wants. On his own, yes. Have to. Because it only won't get worse. You're only to get older. This man don't want to stay with you forever.
I mean, if it's a relationship you want, it's better to start looking and fostering something now than later.
You're only to get older, so you want to sit down here, you want to make this man run over you because of the price where you tell him you have to pay for make you stay or make you stay or whatever the case is. So you want to sit down with him, you want to run over you, and when you're 50 or 60 years old, you want to end up by yourself and totally lost because you never develop any skill, you never do nothing, you never work, and you're hard for you to find a job then. So look for a job now, no matter what the job is.
Indeed.
The man could still bring him money home, all right? But he cannot be your man if he's not providing for you the way a man is supposed to be providing for a woman when they're in a monogamous relationship. Don't stay with a man because he bring home a little money. Because that one get old directly. He go and leave you. He not stay forever. I live in with a woman. She has 4 children. I raised them 4 years before 3 kids for me. I live in with a woman. She has 4 children. I raised them 4 years BF. She 3 kids for me. I built a house for her. She had a next man. I work hard. We could make it, but she too jealous. She sent me to prison. I love them. Wow.
It's quite broken. She has a next man.
I don't know how to translate this, but I want to try.
She sent him to prison?
Well, nobody could send you to prison.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a far cry for her to come up with something that would actually send you to prison.
You are living with a woman.
It must have been an action that he did that she enforced. Let me ask you this, do you beat her?
Or did you take care of your children financially? Maybe you went to jail for maintenance.
He said he took care of them.
Well, I'm saying if you are in prison, you get the opportunity to think about all the things that you were doing before you went to prison, and when you come out, hopefully you don't make those same choices. True. That is one thing.
I think we're only hearing part of the story.
Obviously, only he said for his side. And he said for his side in a very broken Creole.
Broken.
All right? So I would say, you at a prison, relax yourself, center your soul, and somehow you have to just wipe her out of your mind. She has already made a new life. She has already have another man. No matter which house he put her in, guess what? You're not left there in the house anyway. You, when you come out, you'll figure out how you want to take care of your children. And if you have to sue her and take her to court for something that you have invested in, then you do so. But not end up back to prison. I lived with this girl for 4 years and we have a baby but I got locked up for 7 weeks. When I came out, she has a policeman now, and she still mess with me. And when she not into me, she tell he things and then come after me. What for do?
Oh, to get out of that situation. She's playing games. The last thing you want to do is be having a prison record and a ex-cop or a cop that's got it out for you. Just stay away.
She is not worth your hassle. She is so not worth your hassle.
Stay away.
You understand? She want make you end up back to prison, or she want make you end up dead. Let she alone. There has to be somebody out here that's worth your hassle. She isn't.
Not worth it.
I had this man last 20. I guess supposed to be. He went to the States. I lately called him. Now he start, does he love me? It's me who called him first. The way he texts make me feel good. Like last 20 years. What advice would you give me? You had a man, I think her first language is in English. Because this is not regular Creole. I think what she's saying is she had a man 20 years ago. And the man went to the States. And now they're in communication again. And the things that he says makes her feel good. And remember the 20 years ago that they had. I think that's what she's trying to say.
And?
She wants to know what to do.
What can you do?
Well,
He hasn't proposed. Has he come and visit?
if he's just talking, you know. Because the man that you met 20 years ago, chances are it's not the same man that you're going to run into today. I don't know
I wouldn't put my life on hold for him. Now, if he makes the effort, makes a visit here, and you get a chance to see what's really there, it might be worth it. But I wouldn't put your life on hold here while he's sending nice texts back from the States.
I mean, how much times a day could he possibly text? He probably just texts it in between his work or whatever else he's doing. He
Or
running
in
a
between
little
dates.
Or in between, he running a little flirting on you. I think I have to agree with Drew on this one. I wouldn't mind communicating with him if you have the time. What happened? What happened?
You agree with me?
This is the second time in one morning. You're on today. You're hot. I would say, first of all, make it clear. If you have the time to invest in the conversation, then fine. But don't be investing in the conversation at your own detriment. If you have a relationship and stuff going on here, wipe him off. If he comes here and you're serious about him, then meet and talk. I believe in face-to-face. After face-to-face, you figure out the rest. In the meantime, it's just conversation, if you have the time.
True.
If you don't have the time, it's not a priority.
It's true.
I have my husband that I have been married to him for 3 years, and he walks out and left me in the house, and now he's selling the house with me in it. I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm going crazy. My dear, he can't sell the house with you in it. Let's just face that. He can't sell the house with you in it.
First of all, check to see if your name's on that title, along with his. If your name's on there, he can't sell it without you signing off.
And if he built it after you were married, he still can't sell it without you signing off.
Really?
Even
if her name's not on the deed?
Because that was something
country.
that was something that they acquired within the marriage. She can fight him for that.
That doesn't mean he can't sell it.
Well, she would have
She
to.
may be able to fight him for the money back.
She will be able to put a lien on it until that matter is settled,
Well, but
because she
that
has
would
equal
require
interest.
some work.
No, that doesn't require any work.
To put a lien on it?
Of course.
Oh,
She has to go to her lawyer and file.
What a scary country this is.
That is a fair country. You want to be married to a man for 3 years, help him build a house, and then he's selling it? No, man, it's a joke. No. Find yourself a lawyer and deal with this man.
That's why you need to have things down in writing.
I agree, but it's so she didn't.
You shouldn't put that much effort into it unless you're going to get some of it. What makes you think she put anything into it?
I am just saying if she did.
If she did.
I didn't say she did. I said if she did. If you built the house with this man. If both of you acquired it after he was married to you.
I understand. But until you hear all the story, you don't know. She may have been a kept girl. Or he was paying everything for her. And he built this house.
And he built their home.
He may have wandered around, and maybe he figured when it's done, I want her gone.
Then he should have divorced her or filed for divorce.
Well, are they really married, or is it just...
Me only can read you. Now you're asking me to be psychic.
I mean...
I'm just reading what the lady said. He said, my husband, we've been married for 3 years.
All right.
He never said dating this man for 3 years.
If you're actually married, then
Things are different.
I mean, in the States, yeah, everything's joint assets.
Of course. It's the same here. It is your home. Half for he, half for you. If he acquired it before you were married, things are a little bit different then. But if you acquired it together, then it is your home. That's it. He could cry cooking oil if he wants. He can't sell the house with you in it.
No, in the States, it doesn't matter if it's 6 months or 60 years. Everything's half-half, 50-50.
Of course. So, men, ladies and gentlemen, keep that in mind when you're marrying somebody. All right? Know what you get into before you get into it.
Yeah, just remember that. Half of everything you have is going to your spouse.
Like it or not.
Just because the government's involved.
But so
it is a contract between 3 people, you know.
You seem a little scarred, boy. That last marriage really
Marriage
never
is
kind
a
to you.
contract between 3 people. And
You-
why does the government need to get involved? That's all I got to say about that.
Let me read another matter. I have 2 kids. I don't live with their dad because he hits me too much. I have a man that's married, but he treats me like his wife. He saw me talk with a friend and he thinks that I'm having an affair with him. I don't know what to tell him so that he can believe me. What must I do? Girl, stop your fool. Stop your foolishness. Stop it.
Come on.
Why should you give him this much power? Guess, let me tell you something. What you have is what he wants. He wants you. He wants you to play with. Now he wants to control you because you've given him too much. Stop messing with this
He
married
knows
man.
he has no rights to you, and he can't say anything about who you talk to and who you don't. But he's playing with your head.
He's basically saying to you, it's okay for me to cheat on my wife with you and I can cheat with whoever I want, but you will be my slave because I've given you this. Tell him, no, dude. If you want me to treat you like my husband, you need to become my husband. Anything less than that, you need to hit the road. And I really think you should let him hit the road simply because he's not good for you. He's a married man.
Yeah. I would say, when I'm with you, if this is how you want to run your life, when I'm with you, I'm with you. But when I'm not with you and you're with your wife or wherever else you need to go, don't worry about who or what I'm doing with. That's on my own. He can't control all aspects of your life.
Leave him alone. You know, it's funny though that people go sometimes from one level of abuse to another level of abuse. You left the first man because he abused you physically. This man is abusing you emotionally.
So
Do
it
not
seems.
allow yourself to be abused by anybody on any level. But I'll tell you what, this section of Morning Matters is winding down. What we're going to do, we're going to end off with one segment that we did in Antigua. And we're going to do that because we had the opportunity to answer some matters and then they were not aired. So we want to air those matters, and the only way we
Yes,
can
it
air...
was the final one.
It was the
that we
final day in
did.
Antigua. And we wanted to air those matters and kind of wrap up with that. So we're going to leave
It is
you
a beautiful
with that.
setting. I hope you enjoy that. And by the way, wherever you are in the Caribbean or States or whatever, if you're watching, please send us a note, like us on Facebook. We're trying to decide where our next trip is going to be, and wherever we get the most likes, that's where we'll hopefully end up. And if you've got something on your island that's coming up that you'd like us to cover, we'll be glad to come and show it to the rest of the world.
That's right. But before we go, we need to thank the Belize Tourism Board, Development Finance Corporation, and Atlantic Insurance. When you're thinking about promotional items, hats, t-shirts, banners, whatever it is, it has to be creative marketing in Belize City. 207-2023. Guys, until next time, we encourage you to take care of yourselves and each other. This is Rhonda Crichton along with
Drew.
saying goodbye.
Oganuguyame, Tuninualugumania, oh, little la yadina uba, oh, Ay, little la le de veyo, le bouton la voiture ratée. Ay, little la le de veyo, le bouton la voiture ratée. Ay, little la le de veyo, yo te nous ya mugali dans le pays papa. Oh, little la ya dina uba oh. Hey.
Well, Drew, that's been an interesting morning. We started off with Michelle, then we spoke to the sailors, and now we're jumping into vintage morning matters.
It's been a long haul, Rhonda, but it'll be nice to get home.
You know, there is no place like home. All right? I don't care what nobody say. I like it when I'm out, but I love it when I'm in.
Yeah. I think it's been great for the sailors.
I think it's been great.
Nice
It's been
for
fun.
Belize. They got some good exposure here.
We have to thank our sponsors, the Belize Tourism Board, Development Finance Corporation, and Atlantic Insurance. When you think insurance, think Atlantic Insurance. Anyhow, any matters? We have to jump into some matters. People are dying to hear the matters.
Yeah, it's been a while. No, I've just been working hard. My boss is crazy, you know.
Who's your boss there?
I can't mention names,
You have a boss?
but she can be a real sweetheart.
I'm sure she can. And you are nothing but a doozy.
Let's go.
Good morning. I think many people get into relationship for the wrong things. They get in for material stuff and not love. Because he or she look good or drive a nice car, etc.
I couldn't agree more. A lot of people do. They look at the financial benefits and the security rather than the emotional relationship.
Well,
What do you think?
I think that happens as well, but I think that people don't, people that value themselves don't do that. No, we have to learn to value ourselves more so that we can make better choices for ourselves. When you value yourself little, you equate happiness with things, with like a car or living in a little better house than I live
That's
now
true.
or whatever, because your self-worth is so little that you don't.
And once you have that, you're not happy till you get the next bigger car.
Because you're not really sure what happiness is then. Because you're looking for it everywhere except where you can find it most. You have to be happy with you. You have to be comfortable, confident. And then you will find happiness. And you can't find happiness in something or someone else. That's just not where it is. Anyway,
You got it.
this one says,
Let's hope Blanca's doing well out there.
I'm sure.
They are out there racing right now, and they're doing 2 races today.
They'll do well today.
Rhonda got a little seasick yesterday, so she decided that we would stay on land today.
You know, I applaud their efforts. Those children out there, those young people out there are amazing. They're out there 6, 7, 8 hours a day. They look good. They come in. They still have energy. They're still jumping around when they come in.
Sitting on a little 18-inch by 6-foot boat.
They have lunch out there too, you know. I don't know what they eat, but they have lunch out there. This one says, good morning. I need you to tell me what to do. I have a big problem and I don't know what to do.
Okay.
A man I was having sex with, I guess it's a man I was having sex with, and he want money. And just because I gave him the money, he said he good. So tell me what to do. Oh, you're having, this is from St. Vincent.
Quit giving him money.
I think this is a Vincentian text, 758.
Why do you give him money? Not necessary.
Yeah, no, sorry, St. Lucian. This is a St. Lucian text.
Same thing.
Yes. You know, people come with their own story and their own price and their own wants and their own, you know, stuff. But you have to take care of you first. If you are going to buy sex, then that is what you get into it knowing that is what you are doing. You are buying sex. If you're in a functional relationship and you want to share what you have now, that's a different thing. But if you have to pay for it, and that is what you want to do, then by all means, but don't shade it up. If that's not what you want, then don't do it.
Yes.
But don't get in it with an illusion, because sometimes from the beginning we know.
Yeah, don't think you're going to buy his feelings.
You can't buy his feelings. You're just buying his time for the time being.
You are just a meal ticket for him.
Yes, but if you're going to get in and know that is what you're getting.
And treat him like a meal ticket if that's what it is.
Yep. But you know, some people can't handle that, you know. This thing keep going and coming. Some people can't handle that, you know. They get in with one thing and then they want to turn it into something else. If you're getting in with it, that's like getting on the bus. And then after, you think if you sit on the bus long enough, the bus is going to turn into a car. It's always going to be the bus. You'll always have to pay your bus fare. That's just how it is. It's the boss. Chances are somebody will always sit next to you. Okay, you can't buy the whole seat. That's just not how the boss works. This person sent this one again, but I'll read it. I'm interfering with a man who is in a relationship. I like her choice of words. He keeps telling me that he's going to leave his girlfriend for me, but he doesn't. This has been going on for a year now.
As I've said before, ladies, the best thing you can do in that situation is walk away. They're not going to leave their wife, they're not going to leave their girlfriend as long as they're getting both. So you tell them, that's fine. When you've separated, you've got a divorce, you're broke up, come look me up.
It's true. You know, and a lot of men and women, they go through that. Oh, well, I think this is what happens when you get in with somebody when they have somebody. From the mere fact, from the beginning, you know he or she have somebody, don't listen to no more talk. The conversation has to end right there. Well, you know, I'm living with Jane, or well, you know, I'm living with John, but the conversation done. Come back when you're not living with Jane.
But I'm not happy.
Yes.
Well, then you should have left a long time ago. Not just because that way when we run into each other, you're free to do something.
Exactly. But what's the problem is a lot of people start talking to the other person, knowing that they have somebody because they think they can rescue them. Oh, it will be better with me because I can provide you a better option. But you providing him a better option or her a better option is not a better option for you. And your options need to be taken care of. Good morning. I got my girlfriend. We broke up 3 weeks ago. She told me that she slept with another guy within 2 days of us breaking up. Is that cheating?
I think once you broke up, she's free to do what she wants. I mean, it doesn't speak very well of her moral fiber, but I wouldn't call it cheating.
It's not cheating. Even if she comes back and wants you back a week later, within that time frame, the contract was not existing. I mean, yes, it speaks of the kind of person she is. And I don't know if you want to be with somebody that would be so hasty to literally jump in bed with somebody else in such short notice. But she didn't cheat on you. And if you did something, you didn't cheat on her because you were not together.
Right.
I live with my boyfriend for 7 years. He has 3 children and his wife now wants him back. She came back and he sleeps out every night since she's been back. Where do you think he's sleeping?
Ask him.
Well, if I were you, I would... It's not if she wants him back or if he wants him back, but he's showing you that obviously he doesn't want to be with you. If it's for the wife, if it's for somebody else, it no matter. At the end of the day, he doesn't want to be with you. If he wanted to be with you, he'd be sleeping home every day, unless he's a security guard or he has a night shift that he has to go work. If he has no justifiable cause to be sleeping outside of the house, then perhaps you should stop him from sleeping in the house altogether.
Exactly. Why is that his house if he's not sleeping there?
And not only that, if he's not sleeping there, but if he's sleeping with somebody else. You know, far too often, ladies and gentlemen, we blame everybody for the choices that we continue to make. Well, I think he doing this and he behaving this way, but what am I doing to make my situation different? What am I doing to make my situation better? And if when you answer that, that is still blaming somebody else. Well, you see, I can't do nothing because of, then you're really not doing anything. We have to be responsible for ourselves by the grace of God. That's it.
True.
We can't live a life of blaming people. I have a child for this man and one on the way. I just found out that in between our 2 children, he made a child with somebody else. What am I to do? You have a child for him, you're having a child for him, he had a child in between your first one and your second one. What to do?
Were they broke up during that time?
It don't seem so. She didn't say that.
He just stepped out and decided to have another child. Jeez. You know, some of this just happened so casually, and I can't believe she didn't know something was wrong. Something was going on before the child showed up.
You know, Drew, sometimes
he didn't just go out and have a child. He was messing with somebody for a while, and the girl got pregnant.
And obviously, but sometimes you don't know, Drew. Sometimes the women don't know and the men don't know, depending on who's the one getting it. Sometimes you just don't know. Because let's say you're going out with a girl and she accustomed to go out on Friday nights and party with her friends, and you stay home. You have no reason to believe that she's out there giving you bun, like they would say in some parts of the Caribbean. Right? You feel that she's doing what she told you she's going to be doing. She's staying out, she's going out with the girl, she come home 4 o'clock in the morning or whatever. You are comfortable with that because you trust your girl. The same way some women trust their men. And it don't take long because of the other people out there now, they're settling. They will take that 2 hours of your time or that 3 hours of your time. That is sufficient for them to make them pregnant. So they just might not know. But now that you know, what will you do with the information? You have to ask yourself, is this the kind of man, is the man that I am with the man that I thought he was? First of all. Because sometimes we think somebody is one way and then they show us a different way. And the new man, do I like him or will he revert back to the man that I thought he was? Do I want to counsel this relationship? Do I want to kick it to the curb? Do I want to end it? And when you ask yourself all of those questions based on facts, not fiction, not things that you make up in your head, then you decide how you can go forward. It would be very, very hard for me because too much trust would have been violated. I mean, I'm already in an emotional state carrying a child. I don't need any other noise in my head, any other distraction. And that is what he's providing. But you are the only one that can best decide what you will do. And the only way for you to decide is to sit down with yourself, quiet yourself, put your emotions aside and deal with facts. Deal with what is practical and what is best for you. Can you trust this man again? Do you want to trust this man again? Do you love him? Do you want to be with him? You know, does he love you? Can you live with the fact that he now has a child outside of the relationship? Because that child will be brother or sister to your children. That child will always be around.
That's right. It's not like you're going to forget about it. It's going to be a constant reminder.
The mother is always going to be around. Maybe not close, but she will always be around. Can you deal with this? And if dealing with this make you feel like you're settling, then don't do it. Morning Matters is winding down to Mr. Drew.
I think I'm ready for a nap.
You've been working hard, Drew. It's been a long,
I was out in the hot
day.
sun. I don't know if you can tell, but I got way more sun than I wanted to.
Your nose is not red. It is super red. It's like fiery red. Well, guess what? For the next few days,
Sacrifices I make.
I hope your boss happy with you.
Well, I'll check. I'll do a little check. I just hope the viewers enjoy some of the footage and the sailing. And I've learned more about sailing in the last 3 days than I did in my first 45 years.
45 years, he says. Well, guys, it's been fun. It's been interesting. It's been entertaining. We need to thank our sponsors, the people at the Development Finance Corporation, the Belize Tourism Board, and Atlantic Insurance. When you think insurance, think Atlantic Insurance. It's been fun being in Antigua, but now we're going to go back home. This is Rhonda Crichton along with
Drew.
saying goodbye.
Bye.